everyone. Hold on, let me just lower the volume down on my headsets itself. Whoop, a little more. Okay. Hey everybody, I would like to talk about the Nintendo situation, guys. As you can tell, I stopped supporting Nintendo. I don't buy any more games on Nintendo that is made or published by Nintendo. Um, and I haven't bought any games in general on the Switch. So, just wanted to let you guys know they are now trying to force people to buy digital games when their Switch 2 relies on physical cartridge copies. Now they are working on game key cards. Oh my god. When other third party markets that were involved with them, when people bought a game card code, or a game key card, or whatever you want to call it, from a third party market, and then the people entered it in their Switch and they said, oh, this is a hacked code. We do not accept that you have been permanently banned. People got banned for buying a game card code, okay? A game key card code, alright? From a third party market that was associated with them. And now they're forcing their own selves to work on game card key codes, meaning you have to get it digitally now. Any game you get for now on is gonna be digital. But the Switch 2 has a physical cartridge slot. So, okay, why do people have to get a Switch 2 if now they're forced to get digital games? It don't make sense. They're gonna take away the physical game cartridges and replace them with digital digital codes. That makes no sense. Like, the Switch 2 has cartridge written all over it. The Switch 2 has cartridge written all over it. If they do not change the way the Nintendo Switch 2 looks and the way it works, for the people who have the one that relies on cartridge but they can't use a cartridge now, because that shows they are losing resources. And why? Because of a lawsuit against this game developer, against the game that we're seeing right in front of us, against Palworld. And all those Nintendo Pokemon lovers who like to hate on Palworld. So, what are you gonna do now, huh? What are you gonna do now when Nintendo goes down? Oh my god, I'm so scared. And if you do report me, I know I'm a little tiny ant compared to some people on YouTube, but you people who support Pokemon and hate on Palworld are very toxic against Palworld, and now you shall be vanished from the Pokemon world very soon. Pokemon is going down, guys. Pokemon is going bankrupt as well. So very soon, nobody will be able to play Pokemon anymore. Well, that's what a lot of people are expecting. Pokemon might be going down. Hold on. Alrighty, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Um, the reason why I am streaming this game right now, and the reason why I'm making this stream, is because very soon I will be continuing the Devil May Cry 3 streams, and maybe I'll continue some, not continue, make some Devil May Cry 1 streams. But yeah, I think the Nintendo might be forced. They might end up getting forced out of the hardware business, man. They are losing a lot of people supporting their products. When people support a product, it's because you promised with the product you were gonna continue. Now you decide to lie to your customers and everybody who supported your franchise. The reason why I'm saying this is because I started off as a Nintendo supporter after I played the PlayStation 2. No, actually, I started off Nintendo way before PlayStation 2, actually. I had so many Nintendo devices. I had Nintendo Game Boy Color, Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP, GameCube, Game Boy Advance wait, hold on. Nintendo Game Boy Color, Nintendo Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, Nintendo 64, GameCube, oh boy, Wii U, and I can't forget the two different DSs. The two original DSs, actually. I had a regular DS and a DSi, 3DS, so on. Switch, Portable Lite, and Switch, the one that's in the dock. And I have supported every Pokemon titled game, even though I wasn't able to stream most of them. And now they are pissing me off. And that they're not just pissing people like me off, they're pissing a bunch of content creators who used to support their games and their franchise, but now are no longer buying the Switch 2. I decided not to buy a Switch 2 because of the same reason like every other person. Even some of these big content creators who are seeing what they're doing, I am doing the same thing a lot of those big content creators are doing. Some big content creators still want to support the franchise, even though they are going downhill. And here's the problem. When Nintendo eShop and Nintendo Switch servers shut down, a lot of people who supported Nintendo will be like, wait a minute, what? Wait, they said they had a lot more resources. They said they still had a lot of resources. Why did they shut down their servers? Fuck you, Nintendo. That's gonna happen, guys. People are gonna be toxic towards Nintendo. And here's the thing. When people who don't have a console like a PlayStation anymore, because they focused on Nintendo continuously, because they thought, oh, they didn't do nothing wrong. They did a huge oopsies. What is that oopsies? Putting a lawsuit that made no sense against Pocket Pair, a small indie developer who says they're always saying that they try to take inspiration from Pokemon. Pokemon takes inspiration from a variety of JRPGs. It's not just one JRPG or two RPGs. It's multiple. Like the throwing mechanic, it exists in multiple games before Pokemon had it. And the Pokeball takes inspiration from a Gachapon. I said that a few times on my other streams, that when I talk about Nintendo, Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Looks like Nintendo has screwed with the wrong people. Their own customers. And now, you got that ball gamer. Oh, guys, you're gonna love this. Abdallah Smash. I watched one of his videos where he's reacting to Switch 2. He's not too happy, man. Not a lot of these Nintendo supporters who usually support Nintendo and still continue to support them until they go down. Because some of these Nintendo supporters are actually aware that Nintendo will end up going down. Like, but that ball gamer, he's still getting what do you call it, sponsorships by Nintendo, but like, oh boy, Nintendo is paying to sponsor some content creators, not every content creator. And there was this one person who supported Nintendo to a point where now he ain't even getting paid by Nintendo. Why? Because of his reaction. It's crazy because if Nintendo ain't able to pay a few other big content creators for sponsorship to do giveaways, that means a lot of a few reasons. One, not much money. Two, called bankruptcy. Three, not enough resources. Four, saying they sold over 10 million copies, but they lied about that. They put that in some other, like when they bring them here, they put it in a different location. Okay, it's like a storage or something, like a trade market, something like that. Five, they're not making any money. Why? Because not a lot of people have interest in the Switch 2. Not even me. I don't have any interest in the Switch 2. Because when I see the way they're heading with the Switch 2, what does that make anyone think? Game key card code. Wow! Wait a minute, didn't I buy this from a third-party market that was associated with them? And then they permanently banned me? Oh, hell no. Throw this away. I'm done with Nintendo Switch 2. Bye-bye, Nintendo. You're losing a lot of customers who used to be satisfied, which are now unsatisfied. And hold on real quick. I'm just waiting for a friend to get on. So, like I've been saying, and one of my friends told me this would happen. Oh, look at that fly, damn it. So, one of my friends already predicted this was going to happen, that they were going to force themselves to putting game card codes, game key codes, on their own side. When third-party markets were already associated with them and had the permission from them, and then Nintendo says in an announcement, in an article saying, we were never associated with these third-party markets, but now we are making our own game key codes. Dude, man, they're lying to their whole customer and players. Like, don't they see how many people are not satisfied with game key codes? Oh my god, man. But yeah. And I do have plans to stream some Devil May Cry. But I got a lot of stuff to talk about before I start a Devil May Cry part, I think, 3. So I hope you guys are looking forward to Devil May Cry 3 Part 3 stream. If that's what it is. I have to check my phone. Okay. But in the meantime, for any person who supports Nintendo, get your refund right now, man. Before it is too late. Get your refund because you can still get a refund if you bought it from GameStop. But if you're refunding and trying to send it back to Nintendo for a refund, they're not gonna do it, man. They're not gonna do it. If they do, they have no choice because one, you are liable for a refund if you are not satisfied with the product. But with games, digital are different stories. But if they do shut down their Nintendo eShop in general, you will be forced to tell them to give you a refund. If they don't, they're dead. And the only thing they'll be able to work on is digital software. Like on this platform that I'm playing on, PS5. Like Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. They are all gonna be forced to come to PS5. And right now, they are trying to work on another Xenoblade Chronicles title. And I have a feeling they're not gonna put it on the Switch platform like they want to. Their own platform. It's kind of like it's a similar thing for when even though in a way it's not the same. If you guys haven't noticed the things that happened with Sega back then, I wasn't aware of this. Apparently they actually rushed the online. That's what people said. That I believe is true because first they had the Sega Genesis because back then we didn't have that complete internet capability. So when the Sega Dreamcast released, they started putting internet compatibility, and so they basically rushed a lot of the hardware for the Dreamcast copies. Like, in order to sell a bunch of Dreamcast, they lost a lot of money on internet connection. Meaning they had a service, an online, how you say it? They were basically investing in online. And that was too early because when people start seeing, oh my God, is a Dreamcast 2 gonna happen? Is it finally gonna happen? And guess what happened? Because they said they had big ideas at first for consoles, a second console, which was after the Dreamcast. One console after the Dreamcast had planned to be announced, but then got canceled. Or people just put leaks and rumors saying, "Oh, there's gonna be a Dreamcast 2." Oh, and then some people say that there's gonna be a Sega Razor. Oh man, that is the huge, most misleading information rumor I have ever seen. Because get away, fly! You ain't touching my sparkling ice, dang it! Sorry, guys, there was a little tiny fly that tried to get my sparkling ice. Just like yesterday, I had a Manta, and it went in my Manta, in the cup of my Manta. I had to throw it out. Yes, guys, I said Manta because I was born in New York, but I am Puerto Rican as well. I am half and half. Okay. What the hell's going in my mouth? Okay. There. I hope you guys laugh at that. Um, so this is driving me to think Nintendo will be forced to bring a lot of titles to the PS5 and Xbox. And Pokemon, we all know they don't want to do that. And they're going to be forced to, but they're not going to want to do it. And if they don't do it, they will go out of business with the games. Game Freak, on the other hand, will probably decide to go with the other side of Nintendo. Meaning, they'll continue working with Nintendo, and Pokemon will go to a point where they'll be solo. No other company will be supporting their anime, their game, or anything. They will have zero ways to make money, and the only way they'll have to make money is by releasing anime. But here's the problem. See, I don't even watch any of their new seasons of Horizons because I have lost a lot of satisfaction in the franchise of Pokemon. You all already know why. They forced Nintendo into the lawsuit against Pocket Pair. And at first it was Pokemon and Game Freak. Now it's just Nintendo. Because Pokemon is seeing, oh, maybe we can get Nintendo to do this. Maybe they'll win. Maybe we'll win. Now look at this. Nintendo has done the lawsuit. They have been rejected multiple times. And they are still gonna continue the lawsuit into a point where they will lose a lot of resources to a point where they won't be able to do hardware. And so, I am going to end this stream and I'm going to make a part 3, I believe, of Devil May Cry 3, if I remember correctly, if I'm up to that one. I'll find out, guys. So, alright, guys. See you guys soon, and, yeah. Make sure to refund your Nintendo Switch 2s if you still have the chance. But, alright, guys. And I'm not saying you have to. I'm just letting you guys know it's not a good idea. It's a bad idea not to, because you'll be losing a lot of a lot of money actually. You'll have some memories of Nintendo, but just keep the original Switch. Just take away the Nintendo Switch 2, because the Switch 2 is just garbage, man. It is just garbage. And Pokemon is just garbage, man. Garbage. Because all they want to do is kill Palworld. Oh? Well, alright, guys. I am going to stream Devil May Cry 3. And maybe try to stream a little bit of Devil May Cry 1 to continue being that game. If I don't stream Devil May Cry 1 right off the bat, then you'll surely see me streaming Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Just trying to level up faster. Alright, guys.